Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with SHEP.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with SHEP.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
It is the day before Thanksgiving. We wish you all a very safe traveling Thanksgiving. It is the busiest day, right, of the season for people to travel. So if you're going to see family, please be careful out there. And we wish you nothing but the best from the Braylon Edwards Show. Look, he's got the cap on.
What up, though?
There he is. He's ready to go. Glad to have
I was in the building, ladies and gentlemen. I've been here for a while, but
no
trying to
worries.
get some waters for the crew.
Everybody's always
Chilling,
wanted to talk to
vibing.
Braylon. You got to understand the building, right? I mean, hey, Braylon, you got this, you got this. He's still trying to go. He's still trying to leave. He's still trying to do his work. And
Had
people
it.
are always after him. Brendan is with us. Justin is with us. We're glad you are with us as well. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I had a
Yeah.
guy just gave me a compliment of sorts. It was very funny. He said I look like a black Dragon Ball Z character, like with my hair spiked up like this. And I actually thought that was pretty good.
Brendan thought that was pretty good,
I
too.
watched Dragon Ball Z when I was younger, so
Me
like
too.
shout out to Goku. Vegeta was my guy, but respect, feeling good. And before you bust me out, Shep, yes, I did wear this outfit 2 weeks ago.
But
it was an easy
I
pull
wasn't going to
today.
say a damn thing.
It's cold outside. Easy. I changed the shoes for you though.
Well, wait a minute. If you're wearing an outfit once every couple of weeks, what's wrong with that?
Well, when
I
an
mean,
outfit is mint, you can't wear it once every 3 months. But house is full. We're hosting for the holidays, so cold outside. I grabbed this.
I think you look
I think
really
it looks fine.
comfortable. I mean, it looks like one big blanket.
Got the Pistons look for you.
You're looking clean, Bray.
Yeah, I like that.
Pistons love in there.
That's what it's about, right? It's trying to be comfortable. You can't see it here, but I'm trying to rep the Lions a little bit. I've got a lot of dog hair here, unfortunately, but it's a Lions sweatshirt.
They need all the repping they can get.
And Justin's got his Western Michigan, which is good for him. His team won last night. They beat Eastern Michigan 31-21. Boy, their passing game's awful, but they can run, and their defense is really good. Western's defense.
Come on, MAC champ. We're going for the MAC championship.
They are atop the MAC, and they're going to play for a MAC championship. My hope is that Western is going to be downtown on December 26th, and they play one of two teams. Minnesota, because I want them to kick the living snot out of PJ
You don't
Fleck
like row
and
the boat?
Gophers. I don't like row the boat. Or Penn State. Because I think that would be a draw. I think people would want to come see that bowl game. Am I wrong there? Or
I would pop out to both of those bowl games.
well, but you're a Western Michigan Bronco. You don't count.
I would go, yeah.
You would go, okay?
Yeah, Western-
It's a lot to get you to go to a game, but would you go to something like that? Would
If
that
I had to
inter-
be downtown for something, I would.
Okay.
Western, and then Penn State got the field. Excuse me, Western Minnesota. Ski Umah, burying that. It's so interesting. Like Jerry Kill was such a different coach.
He was.
Then
He was a good coach, too.
He was. That's what I was getting to. Jerry Kill recruited my brother Berkeley.
Oh, did he?
100%. Berkeley went to Minnesota, but when Jerry was there, it had a significant understanding of who they were. There wasn't any acting. It was a good coach. He would hold you accountable, and he really focuses on the line of scrimmage. That's why they had a really good run game at those times.
Yeah.
And their second level linebackers could play really good that time of Jerry Kill.
He was good at a lot of stops.
True.
Okay, his teams were always
They
successful.
were always right there.
Just because he didn't look good on the front of a program or wear a sweater vest with a tie doesn't mean he wasn't a good coach.
Yeah, legitimately, they were always right there. They had to contend with Chris and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, isn't Wisconsin mad they fired Paul Chris? But that's neither here nor there. Legitimately, he was right there. And I remember the day I knew that Michigan was no more. Like the day that I knew Michigan, like the mystique, the fear of being Michigan, playing at the big house, the day I realized that it had kind of fluttered out the window, I go to see my brother play. This is Minnesota 2000. The 15 game or 16, that was
15, I think, was his
maybe
last year.
17.
17. Okay.
17.
He was at I think he was at Rutgers then. He wasn't at Minnesota.
Jerry Kill?
Jerry Kill, yeah. Because he went Southern Illinois,
No, he
Northern
was-
Illinois, Minnesota. He was in Minnesota from 2011 to 2015. 2015
Okay, so 15 would have been a year then.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I go
would've been the year.
2015,
Right.
go to the game.
Okay.
you can always watch teams warming up and know that they're looking around like this is the big house. Like regardless of what Michigan's record is, which is usually always decent enough, it's the big house. You got guys doing this.
Yeah.
You see people doing that.
First time
you see
there,
guys distracted. First time. You can see them like walking up the tunnel. You can see them kind of taking it all in, for lack of a better phrase. Minnesota legitimately walked that stadium from top to bottom, from start to finish, like they owned it. I'm talking about how they walked down the ramp, how they were walking on the field, how they weren't even paying attention to what Michigan was doing. Like the air, like the aura of Minnesota was like, I'm not paying attention to this. This stadium's quiet anyway. Like everything that Michigan isn't is what they felt. And they beat the hell out of Michigan.
Yeah.
They even knocked my brother out on the doggone. I was so mad watching that game at home, but I digress. They even knocked him out on the kickoff return. It was a dirty hit, but I say that to say it was on Michigan's side.
On Michigan's side, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, but it was.
He was a really good coach at Saginaw Valley. He went 9-2 at each of his 2 years there, I believe, something like that. Really good. In his first 2 years, I think he was there for 5 years as the Cardinals head coach and had a crazy winning percentage. Yeah. He was a very good coach. And today, I don't know how many athletic directors look at this, but it sure seems like part of the criteria for some head coaches is
personality.
Personality and how you're going to talk to the donors.
Yeah.
Like Jerry Kill, with all due respect, kind of looked like a beaver.
Football guy.
Yeah, but he was a football guy.
Football guy.
He's a good football coach. I'm not saying he should have been the next guy in line for Alabama, okay? I'm just saying for where he was at, and I thought Minnesota was a good spot for him. Southern Illinois at the time, Northern Illinois. I thought that was a perfect place for him, that mid-major or mid-tier Power 4 conference where he could make them competitive every once in a while.
Yeah, you get to the Big Tens, you get to the ACC, the SEC's part of the ACC. Like it's about it's about the personality, the big personality. The problem is everybody's seen Sean McVay. Sean McVay became the first catalyst of this. Well, look, I'm looking at the young guy. He's energetic. He's running around the sidelines like it's him. Like he's got the hair. He's got the look. He's got the voice. He's got the look. He's got all that stuff. But what they don't pay attention to, Sean McVay can effing coach.
Amen.
Sean McVay knows how to talk to his guys and motivate a locker room. Sean McVay can get in the face mask of Aaron Donald and get him to where he needs to be. Maybe not so much, but you understand where I'm going. Like, that's the other side. Like, you can just – a lot of people imitate the one side.
That's
imitate
a really
the locker
good
room speeches. Imitate here's a cliche. Here's a motto. Let's put not ski motto. It's already there. But row the boat. Let's do all this and let's create this persona and we're this. You still got to coach. Yeah. You still got to recruit. You still got to evolve.
Because players know. I mean, you know whether a guy's got his proverbial blank together. Yeah, you know whether they can coach. Sean McVay may, wear tight shirts and walk around on the sideline, and he may have too long of an offensive play call for Matthew Stafford's liking, but he knows what the hell he's doing.
And Matthew Stafford won a damn Super Bowl with that long-ass play calling, so he gets it.
And he's had a pretty good year with that long-ass play calling, doesn't he?
You ain't lying because he's about to be MVP. I think that is the side, though, is you can have the personality and the jazz and the hair and gel it up in the crib and be on social media and be hip, cool, trending, all those things, but you better know how to coach. You better know how to coach because you will become a fraud. If somebody is dealing with
you won't be coaching for long, will you?
Somebody out in Colorado dealing with that right now. I don't want to go too deep, but I digress.
Some coach out in Colorado. It's not Sean Payton. He knows what he's doing.
He's not on the NFL level, but you better be able to coach.
Yeah.
And eventually you will get found out.
If I'm picking up what you're putting down, remember there was a famous wide receiver who wanted that guy to coach a team in which he played.
Dallas.
In the NFL.
It wasn't me.
I didn't say it was you.
Oh, it wasn't me.
No.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Talking about 88.
Yeah, talking about 88, not 17. Yeah. That's who he wanted.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes, and I'm not saying that's the wrong pick because you've educated us a little bit about Brian Schottenheimer, and he's probably over his skis too, but there's no question the other guy's over his skis.
Oh, 100%.
There's no question Deion Sanders is over his skis.
100%. Like, Brian Schottenheimer grew up in it. Like, for much as I don't like him and maybe my dislike is I feel like he played us, not me, played us. But for what that is, he understands the concept of offense. He understands the NFL, and his father coached in the days where they were real men, and he's coached in that era. So I'm sure he's evolved and figured out a lot. I still don't like him, but
that's fine.
But that's
what I mean. At least you can admit, look, the guy for the most part knows what he's doing. That doesn't mean he's a good head coach. Not every guy who knows what he's doing is a good head coach. Yeah. Jim Schwartz knows how to play defense, doesn't
What?
he? Okay.
1000%.
But Jim Schwartz wasn't a really good head coach. Rod Marinelli was a really good defensive line coach.
Yeah.
So he knew how to reach players. He did. Those guys loved him. He wasn't a good head coach. That's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got to be a position coach or a coordinator in some way. But at least players know you knew whether he was good or not at what he was doing. You just didn't sometimes appreciate how he went about the business.
Get 17 and ball, damn it.
Yeah. Well,
get 17.
That's where it comes back to.
Get 17
Get
and
me the football, damn it. So yesterday we were talking a little bit about Thanksgiving, and again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there.
No candy yams.
No candy yams. I hope if you're entertaining, it's less stressful than my house. Okay? Right now, since we're entertaining over 30 people tomorrow, everything's got to be perfect, and not everything is perfect. I have 2 golden retrievers. They shed a lot. Oh, my God, how many times are you going to sweep the hardwood floors, right? My wife is freaking out about the tables and the chairs and where people are going to sit and where the food's going. And it's to a point where you're like, can't we just enjoy that everybody's coming over? At what point do I step in and say something? Because I did something this morning and I got a phone call where it was unpleasant.
What'd you do?
I was trying to help. I was trying to create some space, so I took a lot of stuff and I moved it.
And you messed up where you
I
put
messed
things.
up the rhythm.
The organization and the
I should
flow.
have called you first. That's what I should have done.
Look, man, you gotta let you have to let women deal in organized chaos. Look, I watched my mom, my stepfather, and I didn't understand that until I was in a relationship. Keyword was in a relationship too, where women wanted to be a perfect reflection of them and you guys.
Right.
So when they come to your house, they want the roles to be on the right table. They want the kids' little area to be set up in the right manner with the distance away from the family. They want everything to be in line on the dinner table. When you lay out the spread from where you start to where you end, they want to make sure that no.
Wise beyond
Here we
his
go,
years.
turkey.
Wise
And then
beyond his
100%. They have a vision for what this event looks like, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas, whether it's a birthday, whether they're having people over.
Whether it's a cocktail.
But it's a cocktail party. They have a vision for how this is going to go, and the anxiety is, oh, my God, is the vision going to come true? He just messed the vision up.
This,
oh, my
this
God,
is Braylon's
just
way
messed
of
the
telling
vision
me
up.
I screwed up.
No,
and
no.
just no, you're right. I hope Justin and Brendan are taking notes. Okay? Don't get lost in your phones right now. Listen to this man. He speaks from experience. He knows exactly what he's talking about.
What's going to happen if you just allow it to take shape, allow them to talk to themselves for the most part, and do what you're supposed to from time to time, eventually, after Thanksgiving's over and everyone is left and you guys have cleaned up and you're sitting on the couch or she's sitting over there and you guys are kind of relaxing, she's going to give you a look. And just that look lets you know everything was right. You did everything right.
There we go.
And it won't be much. It won't be a big hug. It won't be, hey, man, I'm taking
See
you
how
out.
calmly he says this?
It won't be,
kind
I'm
of like
taking
the
you out for
waterfall
dinner.
you play at night before you go to sleep. This is how you have to deal with things.
Just
He's
deal
100%
with,
right.
Matt, just deal with all that smoke, or Shep. Just deal with all the smoke very relaxingly, because you know what's going to happen? It'll be a relaxing Friday, it'll be a relaxing Saturday, and it'll be a relaxing Sunday.
Well, I won't be there Saturday because I'll be in Ann Arbor.
Even better.
And you will be too.
Even better.
I know. Although you got a big party coming up that we want to tell people about.
Come on down.
With Thanksgiving here, okay, I want to know from everybody and in the chat, so we welcome your thoughts in the chat. What should each team be thankful for? What should the Lions, the Pistons, the Red Wings, the Tigers, you want to carry it over to Michigan and Michigan State, go right ahead. If Justin wants to throw in Western Michigan, a national championship, good job, coach, from a year ago in hockey, that's fine too. But overall, what should each team be thankful for? Got an idea for me? Go ahead.
Sure. No.
Right.
So am I just going down the list, or do I just do one team at a time?
I want you to take your time.
Take my time and be smooth.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions, there was already one on the list. We don't want to do the obvious one, so I won't say that one. I chose to say for having the loyalest idiots ever known to man. Talking about the Detroit Lions fan base. And listen, I am now one of you, so this is me talking to you as well. But the Lions fans have been so loyal through the years. I never was a Lions fan back in the 80s and 90s because it's just always waiting for them to lose that game. I couldn't live life that way. I chose to be a 49ers fan. With that being said, this fan base...
Because of Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice,
just
100%.
so people are clear, yeah.
But watching this fan base, man, entirety of my life, like no fan base has dealt with more hurt. Like you can argue the Browns or something like that, maybe, but fine, they're equal. You're talking about equal, and to watch that just continuously happen, still sell out. They were selling out Pontiac Silverdome was 93,000 people back in the 80s. So you take that sellout after sellout after sellout, just stand, support, blind trust, faith in individuals they had no business having faith in, whether it was Marinelli, whether it was Swartz, whether it was Mooch, whether it was Matt Millen, whether it was Quinn Trisha, just years and years of people not to have faith. Don't get me started
Rick
on the
Forzano.
Don't get me started on the players. But who was there? You, the fan. Always showing up, always buying gear, always evolving to the next running back that you could take his jersey off because he wasn't going to do anything. The Lions fans have always been there. Yeah. So the ones that stayed the course when 2021 turned into 2020, I guess last year, 2024, 15-0, like kudos.
Okay.
Kudos to you. The Lions fan base is what the Lions should be thankful for.
I like that a lot. I do. There was a time when William Clay Ford was still on the team where people were saying, please sell it. Or please, I hope it goes away like Cleveland left. Right. That's the reason I give Cleveland a little bit more of a buy than Detroit fans, because Cleveland actually lost their team and then got it back. That's the only difference between the two. All right, Justin, what should Lions fans be thankful for?
Number 0, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. I figured that.
Has carried this team in multiple occasions with humongous games. Jahmyr Gibbs, thank you. I appreciate you as a person and as a player.
I like that. Okay, Brendan, what should the Lions be thankful for?
This one's a little bit obvious, but Dan Campbell. I mean, he's guided this team to places I never thought I would see, being this young.
Good. Mine was Sheila Ford Hemp because I didn't want to give the obvious.
Yeah.
And only from this standpoint. She has done something that every owner should do. Hire the right people, who you think are the right people, and let them do their job. Shut up and get the hell out of the way. That doesn't mean behind the scenes she doesn't know what's going on, that she doesn't have a say in certain things, but she has let her brain trust do what she hired them to do. So for me, it's the owner, which is something, again, I never thought I would say when it comes to the Lions. Oh, you were going to say something.
I was going to say the difference with the Browns situation, like being in Cleveland and understanding that is 100%. Like the Browns fans are super loyal. The fact that Art Modell sold their team and then they were able to get their team back in '99 and draft not Eric Crouch, but Tim Couch.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. But the difference is Detroit's the same. We had jump off points. Like, see, Cleveland doesn't have the Detroit Red Wings, so they didn't get a chance to experience that greatness in those 4 cups. They didn't have the Tigers in '84 because last time the Indians won was it was the Indians. Was it in the 20s?
Yeah, it was long.
Exactly, last time they won, and then also even the Pistons. Well,
they had LeBron.
It took a while though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So
in addition to that,
he left,
and I think there's been some really good players for Cleveland, but they've never had Barry Sanders.
Facts.
Okay. So
like their best, like the Cleveland Browns' best
who
players.
Who's their best player of all time?
Well, that's easy. It's Jim Brown.
No, yeah.
So, but
Jim
not
Brown.
getting away from him, they've had so many good players that most people won't know because they weren't necessarily staples like that. Like Clay Matthews is 22 years in.
Right.
He made 2 Pro Bowls, but if you look at his tackles, he's like top 9 all time. Like really a Hall of Fame type player, not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Doug Deacon.
Michael Dean Perry,
Yes.
like the late 80s and
Good one.
90s, he was a wrecking ball. Like Bernie Kosar for a short time. Joe Thomas is more recent guy that you know.
Brian Pruitt was a really good runner.
Pruitt was nice.
Way back in the
Eric
day.
Metcalf started there, and then he went to Atlanta.
Yes, I loved Eric Metcalf.
Eric
Didn't
Metcalf.
Paul Warfield finish his career in Cleveland?
Started.
Oh, it started there.
Started
then he
there.
went to Miami.
Then he went to Miami.
Gotcha. Yeah. So Paul Warfield was a good player.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Kellen Winslow Jr. was a pretty good player. I don't think he'd be an all-time great, but
Kellen Winslow's Jr., man, like he was so good. Like when I say ridiculous, he's better than Travis Kelce. He's better than all these dudes. The thing that messed him up, I'll never forget. I get drafted to Cleveland, and I'm like, damn. Like once I got there, I told you a story. I land in the blizzard.
Yeah.
I go through all the song and dance of the media who hates Michigan. So I'm like, man, this is gonna be some BS. I say, you know what? At least I have Kellen Winslow, who just got drafted last year. It's myself. I said, we can have some fun. We can figure some stuff out. I'm sure this is my arrogant Michigan brain. Sure. I'm like, we can change the culture here. We can turn this into, boy, was I wrong. But the week after I got drafted is when he got into that motorcycle accident in the parking lot trying to learn how to ride a motorcycle. And I'm like, the only reason I was happy is now hurt. I say that to say this. His knee just looked like a train wreck. And he was able to somehow, after that, still make a Pro Bowl, still have a really, really decent career. And he was just so good.
Yeah, he was.
He's just.
I would say, can I add one more?
He was a monster.
Let me just say Ozzie Newsome.
He's a Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know he is. That's why I say I think he's one of the Otto Graham, that a long time ago. Ozzie Newsome should be in the Hall of Fame as a player and a general manager.
He is, I think.
Okay. What a gentleman he was. All right, so we've got the Lions out of the way. Next, ready? What should the Pistons be thankful for?
Oh, Josh Gordon, side note. Like, Josh Gordon was – anyway, what should the Pistons be excited for?
Yeah.
I went opposite of the norm. It's going to be the coach and all those good things. I'd say Trajan Langdon.
Okay.
I'd say Trajan Langdon with a slash of Tom Gorse.
Okay.
Tom Gorse was the tricky one that I saw outside when I was walking down the street. I hear you over there, and I went and saw the pillar, and it had his face on there. Tom Gorse is a guy that made a lot of money off the Pistons, bought it from cheap. He's made a ton in his 12 years of existence or 15 years of owning the team. A lot of moves where he just didn't seem like he cared about what the Pistons were doing. However, these last 2 years, like, I feel like he's an individual that's trying to do something to help the city as it relates to
I would
the
take it back even to Monty Williams. It was a bad choice, don't get me wrong.
Agreed, but he still paid it.
Correct.
He still paid, and then when it didn't work out, what did he do?
Yeah, got rid of him.
He got rid of him. So that's why I said Trajan with a slash
it's a good one.
Of Tom Gorse.
Okay, I like that. Justin, Pistons, what do they have to be thankful for?
I'm going to go on the development end. Fred Vincent. You're seeing every day on a day game-to-game basis, you're seeing the shooting improve by the Jalen Durans. You know, Assur's got a little bit of a mid-range jumper right now, and you're just seeing this team go to the next level. I also love Duncan Robinson. I know this isn't really the Fred Vincent category, but I think he fits into this offense better than Malik Beasley because Malik Beasley didn't flow with the offense sometimes, where Duncan Robinson really just lives in this beautiful flow state of finding open shots and not trying to do too much.
That's good. I love the Fred Vincent. I mean, he's shooting coach, in case people were wondering. I'm not sure. We could have a good debate about Beasley or Robinson better to fit in the offense. Had Beasley not had some issues, he would have been back. So I think that even the Pistons' idea of bringing him back tells you who fits better. But, I mean, it's a fair point. Brendan, who should the Pistons be thankful for?
I'm thankful for Jalen Duran. He has really grown into his own this year and reached another level. And I mean, he is still so young. I mean, he still has so much more time to grow. And
22, man.
Yeah, he just turned 22 last week. I am so excited to see what will come of him in the
I love
future.
him, I think he's getting better, man. I think he's doing a lot of things with his game, and he's up in that ante a little bit. That's a good one. I like it. For me, I picked, Braylon just kind of threw me under the bus, saying the obvious. I took J.B. Bickerstaff because I think he's the primary reason that some of these young guys have elevated their play. I think he's an excellent coach at getting young guys to reach their potential, and I think they're going to continue. All right, we got a few more. Red Wings. What should the Red Wings be thankful for? Braylon?
Momentum from 95 and 09. It's momentum from the Stanley Cup.
It stopped that momentum pretty quick.
Like 100%. I mean, because we still call ourselves a hockey town, and we're basing on what we did 95 through 2009. Rightfully so, and we deserve that. But it just hasn't had a semblance or a remembrance of that. In fact, what we're hanging on from that era is now our GM. And the reason why our GM is still here, and I know it takes time, but let's call a spade. 9 years if it wasn't Stevie, 8 years. If it wasn't Stevie Y, he wouldn't be here anymore.
You're right.
And he's a remembrance of what era? So I would say they're lucky that not lucky, but they're thankful that we had 95 through 2009, and where you went to 7, you won 4, or went to 6, won 4, and you just really turned the league upside down, for lack of a better word. And we're still riding that. Even now, as the Red Wings are playing much better, hope to win tonight. This would be 4 wins out of the last 5 games.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, let's get back there. Because I remember what it was like. I remember what the feeling was. So I'd say that momentum from that 25 years.
We'll go the other way. Brendan, Red Wings, what do they should be thankful for?
Dylan Larkin. I mean, I've really liked him so far this year. He's been playing good. Yeah, I think he's a good leader.
Yeah, he's had a really good season so far. Justin? Red Wings, what should they be thankful for?
I'm very thankful for them because first of all, Todd McClellan, he has come in and he has done an excellent job at putting these young players in positions to grow. My biggest gripe with the past coaching staff with Lalonde, he never allowed Casper or Danielson in positive situations, or having Finney on a first line would make Lalonde's brain explode. So I'm very thankful for Todd McClellan, and then Cam Talbot as well. He has the highest steal rate in the NHL right now for wins, and he is why they are in first place in the. They're not first place in the Atlantic anymore if they lost last night. But they're in the hunt.
They play tonight. They play.
Yep, I'm gonna be down there. I'm really excited.
Yeah, they play Nashville tonight. Tampa leapfrogged them. They're up a point in the Atlantic. I say a passionate fan base. They're averaging 19,403 people per night. They're at 97% capacity. It's not as good as, teams like Colorado. Of course, Colorado is unbelievable. It's not as good as teams like Edmonton that have nothing else to do, or Vancouver. But they're in that mix at 97%. Even when a team is questionable, I think that's pretty damn good. All right.
I'm very honestly, as a Wings diehard, I'm very proud of that stat.
Yeah,
them being 97% after missing the playoffs for how long that they have, and they're still at 97% capacity.
Yeah,
that's a great poll stat.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. How about the Tigers, Braylon? What should they be thankful for?
Chris Fetter.
Oh.
Chris Fetter, like the identity, we talk about identity. It was the offensive line for the Detroit Lions over the past 4 years, trying to figure that out this year. The identity for the Tigers has been the pitching. Pitching has been outstanding the last 2 years. I think the pitching has allowed them to kind of take this jump that they've taken the last 2 years and stay in contention year-round. So give me Chris Fetter, because you see what pitches are when they go under him.
It's a good one. All you got to do is look at Casey Mize and how much better he got this year. Now, some people can say, why didn't he fix Jack Flaherty? That's a fair point. Pitching coaches can only do so much, but I think he's a big reason why Casey Mize is better, especially getting ahead of hitters. So I like that one.
The interesting thing with Jack Flaherty is, and I'm not saying this is him, he got paid, went out to L.A., won a World Series, and then came back. I don't know if he's saying motivated.
Yeah,
I don't know if the motivation is there.
Yeah, well, he came back. I'm always careful with that, because you athletes, it's hard for me to judge whether or not the passion remains, the fire is burning, and so on and so forth. I would hope every player, whether they got paid or not, it has that passion to win. I mean, that's what separates you from most. But his numbers last year were not good, and it sure didn't coincide very well. All right, quickly, Justin, Tigers, what do they have to be thankful for?
Not what the Tigers have to be thankful for, but what I'm
that's the
thankful
question,
for
though. That's the question. What do
being
the Tigers
able to
have
watch Terry Skubal for one more year,
Okay.
because they're not going to re-sign him.
Okay. Brendan?
That was pretty much mine, too.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen. So
You don't think it's going to happen
be
either?
thankful for
For me, it was Dylan Dingler. I thought Dylan Dingler, it's similar to what Braylon's talking about. Dylan Dingler comes in, and as a first year, as a rookie, he wins a Gold Glove. First Tigers farmhand catcher to do that since Lance Parrish. First Tigers catcher in general to do it since Pudge Rodriguez. Handling that pitching staff, showing the type of prowess he had at the plate, and being as good as anybody in baseball at throwing runners out and no pass balls until that playoff series against Seattle. If you believe in baseball up the middle, and I do, he's a big part of that. Now, I'm worried about the second and short, but he's a big part of that, and that tells you right there, I think there's a lot to be thankful for. We'll get some in the chat, and we'll read those, anything that you might be thankful for, or what those teams should be thankful for. But when we come back...
Oh, you skipped the last two.
Okay, well, all right, you want to do that real quick? Michigan. Give me, what should Michigan be thankful for? Quickly.
Counter Stallions. No, I'm joking. I had to. I saw low-hanging fruit. I took it. I say Ward Manuel. As much as there's been the back and forth that he and the coaches and all the other stuff, everybody wanted to fire Jim Harbaugh in 2020.
That's true.
And Ward Manuel said, we won't fire you, but what we will do, we'll lessen your pay. Now, that turned into a whole nother thing, but stay with me. If you don't, if you fire him as opposed to lessen the pay in which he stayed, those next 4 years, they made $1 billion and won a national championship. If Ward Manuel doesn't be the only one in the room, it's like, well, or we can lessen his pay, which didn't go well in the end, but they got $1 billion out of it in national championship, so Ward Manuel.
That's a good one. I would also add this, and again, I think leaders they're going to make mistakes. It's how you handle those mistakes afterwards. He hired Juwan Howard. Wasn't a good hire.
Dusty.
He got rid of him, and he brought in Dusty May, and that was the right thing. He hired Mel Pearson.
That's a great point.
And Mel Pearson, at the time, I thought was a fantastic hire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't. Justin and I are probably the only ones. I don't know about Brendan, but who really get into college hockey. He was a really good coach, man, at Michigan Tech and with Michigan as well. The problem he ran into was, some off-ice problems. And what did he do? Hire Brandon Naurato. Now, Naurato gets his team to a Frozen Four. It makes the decision pretty easy, but he still did it. So you got to give him credit for that. So I like what you're saying there. How about you, Justin? What should Michigan be thankful for?
The real number one, Andrew Marsh. His emergence on this season has been crucial for Bryce Underwood's development.
I disagree.
And you disagree? All right, well.
No, I said I don't disagree.
I just think
you
he's
guys always
playing
ready to fight. I said I don't disagree.
All right, hey, no, well, your Braylon, your opinion is above all when it comes to wide receivers in my mind. So that's why I care about your opinion.
Yeah, I agree
but
with you.
Some of the catches that he's been making over these last couple games, the Northwestern catch in the fourth quarter that honestly saved them from getting upset. They kept shooting themselves in the foot time after time in that game. And then the catch against Maryland over the shoulder, that was a great throw by Underwood and a great catch by Marsh.
Yeah, a lot of people would say, where the hell was you earlier this year? But I get what you're saying lately. How about you, Brendan?
That's on the coach.
Michigan running backs. They seem to always be decent.
That's actually really good.
I mean,
Michigan running, like you think of Michigan, it really is running back you.
They are.
Like running backs has carried us through from Ron Johnson in the 60s, Tom Harmon in the that's a great one.
Did you forget your last name there for a while?
Stan the man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 77 to 82.
I got to make sure we get
one of the
that
best
in,
running.
okay?
It's still the best backfield to me in the history of Michigan, but that's neither here.
So here's what Michigan's backfield has done, just so you know. And I got this from my son, who does a great job with Michigan football communications. 3 different starters have reached 100 yards rushing throughout the year. Justice Haynes has done it 6 times. Jordan Marshall's done it 4 times. Bryson Kutzel's done it once. Yep. All 3 have a 3-touchdown performance as well, which is the first time that has occurred in conference team this century.
That's crazy.
I was legitimately about to say Alabama's got a couple.
Conference.
Yeah, that's why I was looking. I was like, did we beat Alabama? Like Alabama and even Georgia, like that. I'm so glad they got NIL and transfer portals. That's why it's a lot more even now in the SEC as it relates to those schools.
Okay.
Because they had 5 stars they had 5 stars as the third string just waiting to play. That's what Georgia and Alabama had for 15 years.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Well, not Georgia so much, but Alabama for 15 years, Georgia for a strong 8.
Yeah. That run was crazy.
It's like it's like no, don't worry. I'm a 5-star. I know I'm the best player in the country, but don't worry. I sit on the bench for 2 years behind insert 5-star All-American that went first round. Like you can't do that now.
Right.
You can't sit a 5-star wide receiver behind another. It's like I'll go to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I'll go to Mississippi State if the check is right.
You can't do what Texas and USC used to do, because USC used to do the same thing.
What, Pete Carroll?
Yeah. So for me, from Michigan, it's tradition. I think, for especially with this game upcoming, I think there's a lot of tradition that is missing in college athletics, and I'm glad that at least our state has a little bit of tradition in association with the University of Michigan. All right, for Michigan State.
Michigan.
What does Michigan State have to be thankful for?
Because it allows Michigan to play the number 1 role and take all the pressure, and they can just coast and do all the things underneath.
Okay, all right. Maybe I shouldn't have asked that question to you. Justin,
it's rivalry week.
What about
what do you expect?
The rivalry week was with Ohio State. It has nothing to do with them.
It doesn't matter, but it's a rival nonetheless. It's the energy right now.
So let me give you an example. Tom Izzo, Michigan State being thankful for Tom Izzo is a pretty good one,
But you put him on there, so I can't say it.
You can take whatever you want.
I'm not going to say the same thing you're going to do.
Whatever the hell you want.
You're right. It's my show. I don't want to say the same thing you're going to say. Okay. So they have Michigan to be thankful for.
All right. So I said Izzo for obvious reasons, but not just because of basketball, and not because they're off to a 6-0 start, and not because they blew out a team yesterday and had 4 players in double digits and shot 51% and 13 triples. The reason I say this is because that school relies on him more than any other head coach. Similar to what Michigan did with Bo Schembechler. Yeah. He was part of a process. It could be a professor for marketing, for crying out loud, That is part of what his ambassadorship does, and nobody I can think of in this country, outside of Duke, perhaps, when Duke had Mike Krzyzewski, but now that he's retired, uses a head coach in one specific sport like they do with Tom Izzo.
This is true. The flip side of that, and this is only flip side, this is only because we're doing the show and we can have throw some other conversation out there, because I love Tom Izzo. Everyone knows that. I legitimately talk about every time I see him, I introduce myself, and he's like, stop introducing yourself, Braylon. I know who you are. He also won a national championship 26 years ago, and the last 25 years have been, when's it going to happen again? When's it going to happen again? Right. So for as much as he's been the staple at Michigan State, he's also been the every year, is it going to be this year? And it now has become a bit of a running joke.
Yes, you could say that about the entire conference, though, since the conference hasn't won one since 2020, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's the best ever. But
now, they've played for it.
Yeah.
Purdue's played for it. Michigan's played for it. We get that. But it's time for the Big Ten to do something about it, you know? And we got two really good candidates, actually more than two, but two in-state really good candidates. Justin, what does Michigan State have to be thankful for?
Trey Augustine and Jeremy Fears, two upperclassmen who are doing great jobs in critical roles on championship pedigreed teams, and they are leading them with class. And also Trey Augustine is also a Red Wing and will be the goalie of the future, I pray.
Yeah, Trey Augustine, in case people don't know, Trey Augustine is a hell of a goalie for Michigan State University. I thought should have left at least last year, but he wanted to come back, try and win a national championship. He's a Red Wings second-round draft pick. The Red Wings really like him, probably like him more than Sebastian Cossa. He was a little leaky last year, against Cornell, but he's supposed to be a really good player. All right, what do you say, Brendan?
MSU basketball, just tradition in general. I mean,
okay.
Izzo's been there for as long as I've been alive. I mean, that's
it's a staple.
Yeah, it really is.
No question. All right, good stuff. We appreciate it as always. Anything that you think any of those teams, programs want to be thankful for, put them in the chat. We'll make sure that we get to them throughout the Braylon Edwards show when we come back. I want to know this. Where are the Lions better than last year? In what area are the Lions better this year than last? Braylon will answer that question when we come back.
It's a tough one.
After this from Ben Johnson and Art and Jakes.
Corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do what they can to minimize their liability and withhold your compensation. Don't let them do it. How you don't do that is you reach out to Ben Johnson Law. He is the fighter. He's been doing this for a very long time. So let Ben fight for you. It doesn't matter if it's a settlement. It doesn't matter if it's a verdict. They want all the smoke. They will do anything to get you the verdict that you need and that you deserve. When something goes wrong, make sure this is the first call you make. Not anyone else. It's VinFights.com.
There's no better place to catch the Lions game or any game, like even the Pistons and Red Wings tonight, than Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill. Go to any one of their 6 locations throughout the state of Michigan. Enjoy wall-to-wall coverage, over 80 TVs, 22 draft beers on tap, a menu stacked with your favorites, whether it be wraps, wings, their signature fairway burgers. In fact, tonight would be a really good night to go. It's a busy bar night, isn't it? Art and Jake's has got you covered there. Plus, it's fajitas and margaritas Wednesday. How cool is that? Download their Art and Jake app, join AJ's fan club, and make every game day a winning game day.
Lady Jane's haircuts for men, and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Injuries? Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and SHEP Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face. New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice. You know how some things are so good
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got
everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. And click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Fitness is for everyone with over 2,700 clubs nationwide and 50 here in the great state of Michigan. It is the gym for you because it's a gym for everyone. Like I said, we're all strong on this planet, and that planet is Planet Fitness. Exciting new membership we have with the Detroit Lions. Want to win 2 tickets to every Lions regular season game. Come on now, it's only a couple left. So you only have a few more games to register. Go to one of the 50 locations, you register in the challenge, and then if they choose you, guess what? Boom, 2 tickets for you. You get a chance to go to Ford Field. Sign up today. But remember, Planet Fitness, where your fitness is easy.
It's going to be a busy day tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving. You've got to make sure you have the right drinks for folks in your household, right? And you want to make sure if you're going to have some drinks, you want to make sure that, you know, it's not bogging people down. It's going to be a long day, right? So where do you go? You go to Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Why? Because it's just a clean, crisp sip that's not going to fill you up, whether it's be game day or not. 100 calories, and it's perfect for tailgates. It's perfect for sitting around on the couch and watching the Lions tomorrow. So this season, whether it be on Thanksgiving or all the games after Thanksgiving, make sure you let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser, and please drink responsibly.
Right back, it's your boy Be Easy, and I want you to be part of something special. We talk about it every week. It's Smoothie King High School Athlete of the Week. Scan this QR code above my head, and it will allow you a chance to nominate someone that you think, or in fact that you know, is deserving. Our Smoothie King High School Athlete of the Week program is all about recognizing student athletes in Southeast Michigan who bring hustle, leadership, and a big impact, and emphasis on the big impact to the community. Every Friday we'll do it, and this Friday will be nonetheless, we'll be naming our 9th our 9th installment of the Smoothie King High School Athlete of the Week. We do appreciate the partnership with the Lee Foundation, who finds these athletes, and then what they do is they give them an opportunity to shine and progress as student athletes. Nominated on QR code above my head.
There's this Players Era Championship game going on right now in Las Vegas.
This is one of the constellations.
Correct. Yeah, it's Iowa State blowing out Syracuse. Michigan's going to play Gonzaga a little bit later.
For the
on.
Millie.
It feels like it's like a mini NBA tournament, right? With the NBA does, to a certain extent. And one of the players on Syracuse is Carmelo Anthony's son. It's tough to wear the last name on your jersey. I would guess it's even tougher when you're playing at your father's school. You can relate.
Yeah.
It's not just the fact that you're playing football like your dad played football, even though it's a different position.
Yeah.
Why would you? How much more pressure was there when you go to the same school that your father started at?
It was a lot of pressure in the sense of I didn't look at it as pressure, but I guess it was. Yeah, it was. I'm lying. It was a ton of pressure, and it's because Lloyd Carr was actually on the staff when my dad was there. So when you look at him playing for Bo, and then Gary Moeller taking over, and then instantly Lloyd takes over after that. The same things are in place.
Yeah.
The same equipment manager was there, Big Johnny Falk. The same strength and conditioning coach, Mike Gittleson, was my strength and conditioning coach. The same people that are around the building. In fact, Paul Schmidt was on the staff for my dad.
Oh, wow.
Was there
Yeah.
Schmitty? So like all the things were the same, but my dad was he had more stars than I did.
He was a higher recruit.
There you go. He was a higher recruit, had more stars. He was a 5-star. I was a 3-star. You get in the University of Michigan. My dad was part of arguably the best running backfield when he was there. Hit Ricks himself, and then Butch Woolfolk. He had success, 20 touchdowns in his career. He was drafted 3rd round, and he did everything the right way. Like every time I talked to coaches, whether it was rest in peace, I was talking to Bo, or I was talking to Lloyd, I was talking to Moeller, or I'm talking to you name the people. Oh man, Stan was this and Stan was that. I don't know if they were lying, but I don't think
How much were you compared to him in that sense? Because you're different people. You're same
like,
family and same talent. I mean, really good talent, but different people.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't like practice, I'm gonna tell you I don't like practice. Like my dad, and not so much. Yeah, he's part of a different era. So it was always do it like Stan, Stan this, Stan that. And eventually, as I started to come into my own breakaways, start as a sophomore. And then my junior year, once I got one, I was no longer Stan's son.
Yeah.
I became Braylon my junior year. But it's tough because everything you do, especially if you have a parent, because obviously people who play basketball, same school, their mothers play that.
Yeah.
If you got a parent that did everything the damn right way, and they had achieved success, like every story I have from his former teammates, trainers. I just ran into a trainer, in fact, at an event I went to, the stadium event I told you I was going to that night, ran into a guy that was on the medical. He was a trainer when my dad was here, just glowing reviews. But I think ultimately it wasn't pressure because that same guy that was that, he raised me.
Yeah, that's a good point. And he is. I mean, all those reviews are dead on because Stan's a wonderful person. The thing about that whole experience that your father went through, he had Texas after him. They didn't, and not every game was on TV back then.
Yeah.
Right? So the big name schools, and this is what got me thinking a little bit. The big name schools, Texas, Oklahoma was big back then. Georgia.
They were coming into. They were still.
Georgia was. It wasn't Alabama.
Ohio State,
but
obviously.
Ohio State was Notre Dame.
Yeah,
obviously.
Notre Dame.
Penn State was still big, and obviously
USC,
and Michigan, and USC.
Yeah.
Right. For the most part, it's generalizing.
That's good enough.
Now it's completely different. There are so many big programs, and so many programs that go from. It's hard to figure out who's in what conference these days. I mean, you really gotta have a map in front of you sometimes.
Yeah,
so
100%.
It's interesting.
Like, back in the day, there were like 3 big programs in a conference.
Yeah,
it's like maybe even 2, but let's just say 3. Nowadays, all those tiers that were, the 7 to 3 or 7 to 4 or 8 to 4, now they're considered big schools because, like we talked about, you're a 5-star. I don't have to wait behind another 5-star. If I'm a 4-star, I'm like, why am I waiting behind a starter because he's older than me? I don't need to go to Georgia. I can go to Ole Miss. I don't need to go to Alabama. I now can go to Tennessee was always. I can go to Vanderbilt. I don't have to go to Michigan. I can now go to Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So now those teams that are 4 to 8, they're now big programs too because they got a little bit of money and people are like, look, you just paid me, I'll come to your school.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, let's get to some Lions discussion here. Lions taking on the Packers tomorrow.
Oh, they do play tomorrow,
These
right?
two teams are completely different from game one, okay? And let's hope that everything's different from a Lions perspective. I said this.
Do you want to take a quick break
No.
to then set up a bigger portion of Lions topic?
No, I think we're okay.
All right.
We're okay for right now. There's a lot of Lions topics we're going to get to. Here's what I want to ask you, okay? Where are they better than a year ago? And then we'll dive into the rematch, okay? So in what area are the Lions better than they were last year?
I'll let Justice Towel go.
Where do you think they're better than last season?
Where do I think the Lions are better than last year?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, well, does it count when they get healthy? Because they're very close to getting healthy.
I don't think so. I'm talking about until this point.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Until this point.
Until this point. How are they better?
They were better in their defensive backfield when they had their corners. I think DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold both looked better than Terrion Arnold and Carlton Davis of last year.
Okay.
The offensive line is definitely worse.
Right.
Gibbs is better. The running backs are better. I'll say.
Well, Gibbs is better.
Yeah, but
that doesn't mean the running backs are better.
I would still argue that even with Gibbs being better, the running backs are better.
Okay.
Other than that, running backs and defensive backs.
Okay.
And linebackers. That is it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going right away. Linebackers. I think their linebackers are better. What do you think, Braylon?
I would say nowhere.
Nowhere?
I would say it's not wow. It's the truth. They're not better at offensive line. They're not better completely at the running back position. They're not better at the quarterback position, although his stats are kind of comparable to where they were this time last year. They're not better at the wide receiver position because, hell, for one, we don't even know where our number 2 wide receiver is. And then the guy that we spent 3 draft picks to get, we don't know where he is. And our starting wide receiver, we don't even have to talk about that. On the opposite side of the ball, you can say the D front is a little bit better until you watch the Giants game. You know, and so Jack Campbell is a better version of himself this year than he was last year. Mm-hmm. Jahmyr Gibbs is a better version of himself than he was last year. Outside of that, maybe Kelvin Shepard, but then Aaron Glenn was also a damn good defensive coordinator. Do you like Kelvin Shepard a little bit better? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're better at any position. I think that they're better in those 2 players.
I think that's really well said. I don't know if you could say one area they're better.
Yeah.
I think you have to look to individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. I suppose obviously Aiden Hutchinson's better this year than he was last year because he missed most of last year. But the start he had last year was better probably than what he's done this year. Is that fair?
He's currently at the same, he played 5, how many games he played last year? 5?
Played 5 and change, 6, but I mean he was hurt in the 6th.
Right.
And he had 7.5 sacks.
He's currently at 8.
Yeah.
After 12 weeks.
Right. And that's what you get paid for. I know people will talk about pressures, and you and I kind of go crazy with that. I don't know if we're expecting a Myles Garrett 18-sack performance out of him sometime in his career. But when you get paid, Yeah, I was just going to say, when you get paid certain ways, those expectations rise.
Yep.
Please stop telling me about quarterback pressures, and this is why. You have to finish the conversation. When people talk about the quarterback pressures or these randomly made-up PFF stats that they give as it relates to Aiden Hutchinson, it's cool to get the pressures when you're getting interceptions. It's cool to get the pressures when you're keeping the quarterback off track. Now he has to throw the ball out of bounds, throw the ball, you're getting sacks. It's cool when you do that and it really affects the game. It's not cool when you're getting pressures. See, this is the other side of that stat. It doesn't tell you what happened on that pressure. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to get pressure, and now Jameis Winston still has 355. So, the pressure thing is very subjective, and you have to be careful. You can have 18 pressures. All 18 of those can be completions.
Exactly.
All 18 can be completions.
Point.
So I need, not us, not this show, but I need people to stop talking about the pressure so much because there's not being much seen behind the pressure. There's not the interceptions. There's not, sacks on the other side by anybody else. Al-Qadim Muhammad has 6 on the season. I appreciate that. He don't even play the majority of snaps on the opposite side. It's Tyrus weak.
Yeah.
So the quarterback pressures are cool when there's something behind them. Right now, it feels like it's not as much behind them as people make it out to be.
Yeah, look, if you want to be compared to certain players, I'm not saying Aiden Hutchinson is like this, but I think our fan base is.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Myles Garrett, if you're talking about Brian Burns, you're talking about Will Anderson Jr., who we love, these guys are all double-digit sacks. Look, you said from the get-go about Green Bay, Micah Parsons will be a difference maker.
Yeah.
You didn't say it just in his numbers. You were talking about how he affected the entire defense.
Yes.
Green Bay's defense is a son of a bitch. And by the way, he's got 10 sacks. Rashawn Gary hasn't had as many as I thought he would because of Parsons.
Very true.
Okay, he's got 7.5, I think. But still, their defense is really good. He's made a massive difference to the entire defense. I'm not saying Aiden Hutchinson hasn't, but sometimes, and you're right, sometimes numbers lie. By the way, I was wrong. I said 7.5 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson. He has 8.5. But I said 7.
You said 7.5 for
last year.
Yeah, you're right. You're correct.
So I think the expectation is, and it's not unreasonable, even if you're going to get double teamed.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett gets double teamed. Brian Burns gets double teamed. Micah Parsons gets double teamed. That's the reason you get paid the amount of money you do.
Also, too, like you look at some of the matchups this year, man, there's been a lot of favorable matchups for Aiden Hutchinson. There's been a lot of teams whose offensive line have been depleted. He's played against a lot of backups. There's been a lot of teams that just aren't necessarily that good. So you would like to see more. But
am I reading in this that he's been a disappointment this year, or is that too far? Do we think he's been? Be fair, okay? You're not being a hater because you've loved him because he played at your damn school, okay? So this is not a knock on him per se, but there are some people who are they come up a little bit shorter than maybe you expected.
I wouldn't say it's a disappointing year, but it's a confusing year because at the end of the day, I believe that the health side of things has already passed. I believe that the health or the mental aspect of it or really being back and fully like that marker passed. And the gameplay hasn't taken off more or the gameplay hasn't gotten to a space where last year after that, because he got hurt in the Dallas Cowboys game.
Correct.
But after that Bucks game and then the Dallas Cowboys game, which he had a sack and a half, I want to say. After that game, you're like, I think I might have been wrong about Aiden in terms of because I didn't think he was the number 2 pick overall that year. I didn't think Aiden was going to be this. After that start, I said, man, you know what? Did I misread that? Mm-hmm. Is Aiden going to be a lot better than I thought? And that's where my mind was. So coming into this year, I didn't have any judgment of him. You know what I'm saying? Early on, I told you, I said, you take a step back.
Sure.
Week 4, you figure it out. But where my mind was last year, my mind has not got back to that place as it relates to him this year. So I'm not saying it's a disappointment, but it's confusing.
I think that's a really good way to put it. I liken it to this, and maybe this is bad, and you guys feel free to call me out. I liken it to Riley Green with the Tigers. Riley Green had 38 bombs.
Yeah.
He drove in 111. He batted .260, and everybody remembers his 202 strikeouts. And overall, his numbers are pretty good.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson right now with 8.5 sacks. Still not terrible.
No,
okay,
that probably puts him like top 12.
Yeah, it does.
Top 12.
And if you're looking at it like that, should we be understanding a little bit more of, what our expectations were of him? If you're top 10 in sacks, there's something to be said for that, and he's got plenty of time to try and gain ground. But when you have other players like Josh Sweat and Byron Young and Nick Bonito ahead of you, and you're getting paid what you do, and I know that sometimes you cringe at that, but that's the way it works sometimes. Too much is given, much is expected.
Yeah, 100%. Frankly put, if we want to be honest, the 2 individuals that you extended this offseason, or not this offseason, both were in season.
In season.
The 2 individuals that you extended in season, neither one of them are performing to the level of pay. And you pay Jahmyr $29 million a year. Moving forward next year, he'll be making $29 million a year. Where's 28 of that? Like, where's 28 of that on the field? You pay Aiden Hutchinson to be one of the elite pass rushers because that's what you feel about him. Where's that at?
Yeah.
So these are situations where we're just picking on the Lions because the Lions are struggling. We're trying to make some conversation. Hey, clickbait. Hey, you type on this and see what we have to say. No, these are real, factual questions. You paid this man this. Where's that? You paid this man this. Where's that?
Mm-hmm. Somebody in the chat said he's coming back off a broken leg. Right. Come on. He was having a monster year last year before that and got hurt. Let's be real. Well, so he was having a monster year.
Right.
He gets hurt. What have we said? The Lions obviously feel they've seen enough to extend him and make him the second highest paid player, or is he the highest paid non-quarterback player is what I was going to say.
He's
the second highest to Micah Parsons. Yeah. So he obviously they saw something. I would ask you in the chat, and KMG King 420 is the one who said that. What does last year have to do with this year? At what point are you going to stop using he had a broken leg and he was coming off a really good year? What difference does that make right now at 8.5 sacks and with the contract extension?
At the same time, like legitimately, don't in week 3 see Aiden Hutchinson beat a triple team. I can't remember what game it was. He beats the triple team and everybody comes to the network and Aiden's back. Aiden's back. Yeah. We get to game 4 and you see him break a couple double teams. Like, oh, look, he's even breaking double teams now. He's back. You can't tell me that in week 3, week 4, and then 9 weeks later tell me, well, he's coming off an injury. We're past that point. Like, we're past that point. It was a broken leg, and it wasn't even a ligament-type injury. It was a broken leg. It heals faster. Doc's told you that he was ready back in August. Doc's told you back he was back ready in July, and he was ready to go. He's been ready, and then he got the NFL, like the get back to the suit of the game, how the game feels, the mental aspect of the game. That was 9 weeks ago.
Right.
So
people forget how good he was last year.
I think that
truly, part. He was a Terminator last year. Like, you couldn't put enough guys in front of him, and he was still finding ways to get to the quarterback. And this year, double team, simple chip maneuvers have been able to keep him at bay, and that's just not what you can have when you're getting paid at the level he's getting paid. If you make more than Myles Garrett, you at least have to be in the stratosphere. I'm not asking you to be Myles Garrett, but I'm asking you to be in the stratosphere. I'm asking you to be a top 5 edge in the NFL. And he still has a lot of runway, a lot of season left,
does.
and he was in the early part of the season, but we need that part of Hutch back.
Yeah, remember this, though. We almost use that as a bit of an explanation on why Detroit as a team struggled against Green Bay in week 1. Then the next week against Chicago, he performs really well. That included a sack. The following week against Baltimore, he performs really well. That included a sack. If we're going to feel like Braylon was saying earlier this season that he's back, he looks comfortable now. He looks sure of his leg. He looks sure of himself. And the Lions basically told us that by giving him that type of contract. Why can't I continue to expect it throughout the season? I don't think that's unrealistic. When we come back, we will talk more about the advantages of Detroit and the advantages of Green Bay. That's number 1. And number 2, what's the one thing that needs to change the most from their week 1 clash to now their Thanksgiving Day battle? We'll do that when we come back after this.
Why don't you tell them about Sharon's?
I will tell them about Sharon's heating and air conditioning. That's a good point. You're going to be warm inside Ford Field tomorrow. We want you to stay warm, and Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to stay warm all winter long. How do you do that? Well, you got to make sure your furnace is in good shape. And right now, DTE Gas customers get a free furnace tune-up through the end of 2025 at Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. Folks, they have done this stuff for the last 40 years. That's what they've done. They've done it for 40 years now, so you know darn well that they're going to be able to take care of you. They've been treating your friends and family like family for that long. And their website, SharonsHeating.com, has made a lot of things easier for you, including some great deals and customer-friendly options like free instant estimates for equipment replacement. Call Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning today, 734-238-3805, and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Speaking of injuries, let me tell you about Dr. Pierce. Attention sports fans, don't miss the sports injury insights from Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. The Doc. You can catch him every Tuesday on Big D Energy, as well as Thursdays right here on the Braylon Edwards Show with SHEP. Not this Thursday, but this Friday, because of the Detroit Lions game. Trust the guy, the D-Mac, and all the people love, and that's Dr. Jeff Pierce, MichiganSportsandSpine.com.
Buddy's Pizza. Doesn't that look good right now?
Ooh, it actually does.
It looks so good. And it would literally
Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Fight it off, Chef. Fight
I'm
it off, Chef.
I'm doing my best, Bray. I'm doing my best. But Buddy's Pizza, really good looking right there. That's what you get when you order it. And if you're going to have a party, and who doesn't want to have a party? Who doesn't like a party? Everybody likes a party. Buddy's is the place to be, especially the holiday. Like if you own a business, take your crew to Buddy's. They've got dine-in, all-you-can-eat party packages starting at just $15 a person. Or how about catering it to your office? If you want to do that, you're going to save 20% off your order of $200 or more by using the promo code HOLIDAY20. View their catering menu and view their entire menu, buddyspizza.com/catering today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and SHEP Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Braylon Edwards Show, Monday through Friday from 2 until 4. Folks, hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you have a lot of good plans. And I know a lot of it has to do with watching the Lions tomorrow. What a great tradition. Lions and Packers for the second time this year. First game of the season. Obviously, Green Bay won at 27-13. What's the one area Detroit has to improve upon most from that loss? For me, it's the running game. I mean, they're 46 yards on the ground. That can't happen again, and them expect to compete for this game.
100%. It definitely is the run game. I feel like with Jahmyr, let me not even say that. Absolutely, the run game. I'll take a different approach.
Okay.
I think it's up front at the line of scrimmage. You remember in leaving that game, it left a bad taste in our mouth about what the offensive line could potentially look like this season. I think the taste might still be there to a certain extent, but you got to you got to be stout up front and also provide Jared Goff some time, because another thing that they need to do, they need to go down the field. One of the big things about that game with Jared Goff early on, like all his passes were legitimately 5 yards or under. Like Jahmyr Gibbs had 12 catches and all of them were 2 yards or shorter. Like they didn't get the ball down the field in that game. I think you're going to have to get those defensive linemen out of there, because if they can just pin their ears back and beat you up at the line of scrimmage all day, beat you up, that's going to be tough. So for me, get the ball down the field, take some shots down the field so you can open it up a little bit, open the running game up. Shots down the field.
I like that. Let me throw a couple more at you. Detroit went 5 for 15 on third downs. that has to improve, okay? And I think that's a massive statistic because when you look at third down percentage, you've brought this up not once but twice this year, earlier this season. Look at where the Lions rank. They're at 26% third down conversion.
Good.
That's awful, okay? You can't win games that way. I'm sorry. It's just not going to work. So they've got to be better than that, whereas Green Bay is really good in that statistic.
You're 100% right, because at the end of the day, when you have a statistic like that, Shep, when you're 26% on third down, it means you're not staying on the field. And realistically, right now what the Lions are doing very well is they're relying on Agent Zero. Agent Zero is not going to be able to hit the home run every time. Like, contrary to popular belief, as much as we want it to be true, there will be a game, there will be a D-line where it just doesn't work, where he just doesn't hit the – and maybe it's this game, maybe it's the next game, but you got to have other ways to go with the ball. You got to be able to stay on field. You got to be able to extend drives so that you can get into a groove. You get into a groove, you tire out the defense a little bit. You allowing them to legitimately take you off the field, 3 and outs or 1 first down, that defense stays fresh all game long, which means Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary – they're going to have high motors, so you got to extend drives. You got to go into their tank a little bit, man.
I got to correct myself. I said 26. I meant 36.
It's 36. That's still bad. Yeah. I was about to say 26. Jesus Christ.
36.5%. Green Bay leads the National Football League in third down conversions. They are 68 of 138 for 49%. Now, Detroit did a really good job against him in the first game where they went 4 for 10. So the third downs, I think, is big. The rushing is big. And then the obvious one, and that is sacks. Detroit allowed 4 sacks in the first game against Green Bay. Yeah. The Packers allowed 0. That has to change if you're looking at 3 keys.
And one of them, those are keys. Let's have a real conversation, a fun conversation. Score. Get on the board. Put points on the board. Because one thing Green Bay cannot do right now, and that don't pay attention to last game. That does not count at all. Green Bay's offense is not good. They don't have a sense of identity. There's no Tucker Craft. Josh Jacobs is in and out of the lineup. Is he going to play this week? We don't know. Probably, but he won't be the version of himself that we remember from the 16 touchdowns and the 1,600 yards and when he played with the Raiders. Get on the board because they haven't shown that they can score in bunches. They haven't shown that they can play from behind. You're at home. Use that to your advantage. So go in there, score some points, do what you do. Early on in the season, you were good on first drive. You were good on first 11. Get back to that. I need to see you be good at first 11. Put the pressure on Green Bay. Their offense is not good. They're legitimately waiting to give you the ball. And Jordan Love will give you an opportunity at the passes. You just better catch him. So this is not a good offense.
Yeah, 24 points per game is what Green Bay is averaging. Detroit is second in the league, but again, these rankings and these numbers can be very deceiving. Last week, in their win over Minnesota, they scored 23. In the win over the Giants, 27. But in their losses, the Eagles, they scored just 7. And in their loss to Carolina, they scored only 13. So this team can be held in check. And Detroit's defense, if there is a strength to this team lately, even though it sure didn't look like that against the Giants, you would probably side closer to the defense than you would your offense.
Yeah.
I think just not by much. And I think that reveals a bigger discussion, and that's where the biggest frustration I think Lions fans have. You want to trust somebody. You want to trust something.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing is, boy, the offense is good, then it's bad. The defense is good, and then it's bad. The special teams hasn't been great. It's hard to find something you rely on with this team. And I think that's got a lot of Lions fans kind of scared going into this game.
And it should. You know, it's at the end of the day, I think the Lions haven't beat Green Bay since like 92 or something on Thanksgiving. But you're right. You know, you watch this game, it's like when you play against really good defenses, you struggle. When you play against decent offenses, you know, it's like, oh my God, I gotta hold my breath and cross my fingers and hope the DBs don't get sauced up. It's tough, but you have to rely on that defensive line because that's where attitude comes from. I think for the Detroit Lions, the defensive line and Jack Campbell, you got to make some plays often early in that game, and I think you can. I think Aiden Hutchinson hears the noise. I think he hears the crowds. Whether he acts like it or not are two different things. Like, he hears the noise. He knows what he wants to do and what he wants to be, and I think Jack Campbell knows where he's going. So we need something out of that side. We need something out of that side of the ball this game. offense didn't give you anything in the first half against the New York Giants, and then the defense disappeared in the second half. Somebody do something early, man.
Yeah. I was talking with a Green Bay talk show host this morning, and he told me that he thinks Green Bay's close to breaking out. But even he admits that the Lions have better talent. The Lions are the better team. He's not buying into Chicago. He thinks Detroit is going to be the winner of this division. We'll have to wait and see. We are going to talk a little bit about what one guy's comeback means for a specific team this weekend, but more importantly, what he had to say about the Lions and Thanksgiving Day. We'll get to that here in a moment. I want to ask you about Detroit and Green Bay and the matchups. Back in the day when you watched a boxing match, this is actually when they were on like ABC and stuff, on the weekends, Pernell Whitaker, against Wilfred Benitez or whatever, they always had a check mark. Who was better or favored or was more skilled in this certain aspect of the fight?
Jabs, straights,
right,
big
all that stuff.
Things.
So let's do that with these two teams. You ready? Who's got the better offensive line? And let's see if this leads to our thoughts on who wins. Who do you think's got the better offensive line? Green Bay or Detroit?
Green Bay.
So do I. I think it's Green Bay, and I don't think it's really all that close.
The only hesitation is because we have the best linemen, but once you the other four don't not yet.
Right.
It's Green Bay.
Running back.
It's us.
It's no question.
Detroit Lions.
Wide receiver.
Us.
Correct. Tight end.
Neither.
Yeah. You know what Green
Bay? They got Musgrove.
Yes, and he was taken higher
than
Tucker Kraft. But he's actually been passed by a kid by the name of John Fitzgerald off their practice squad who's a better blocker for Green Bay. I think Green Bay has the edge at tight end.
I would agree.
Okay. Quarterback. In the past, this would have been an automatic.
What offensive line is showing up?
That's what I was just going to say. But because the offensive line,
I say Jordan Love.
It creates a little hesitancy. I would still give the advantage to Goff. You want to give it to Love. Let's call it a push, if you don't mind.
Because Love can get out the pocket.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, they both stink right now, but Love can get out of the pocket. Yeah. And that random 22, 23 yards that he'll get rushing will help them tremendously. That's one of the reasons why they're good on third down.
Correct.
Love sneaks out of there on those because they forget that he can run.
Mm-hmm.
So give me Jordan Love.
Okay, so of the offense that we've talked about, 2 for Green Bay, 2 for Detroit, and basically a push with a slight edge to the Packers at quarterback. Yeah. Now we hit the defense. Defensive line.
I'm not even saying
it's the Packers, right?
Right.
Linebackers.
Packers.
Really?
Ooh. He's a Jack Campbell.
Yeah, I was gonna lean toward. I mean, Quay Walker's he's questionable. I don't think he's playing. Yeah. I could be wrong there. I'm gonna give Detroit the edge there. Mm-hmm. I think Anzalone and Campbell, if you don't mind, and then the secondary, and I think that's
our linebackers got embarrassed last week.
Yeah, they weren't good. You're right about that.
Yeah. But to your point, I guess the Giants did that to Green Bay too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, if it's all right, I'm gonna give it the edge
that's cool.
to the Lions, and then the secondary, Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams,
but Green Bay,
Carrington,
100%.
Yes,
because even my guy isn't playing well.
That's true.
Yeah.
What about head coach?
Matt LaFleur has been in the NFC Championship twice. Dan's been once. Does that matter, or is it? Or are we doing current?
Can we do a push there?
What makes Dan Campbell better than Matt LaFleur's, and what makes Matt LaFleur's better than Dan Campbell?
Dan Campbell owns him.
Well, I don't know how he owns him if LaFleur won earlier this year.
He's talking about he won more.
Yeah.
Because he's won 1 out of the last 6 games. Okay, so it's 5-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, to Justin's
Dan
point,
Campbell.
if you won 5 or 6, you have owned somebody.
Ryan Day, Jim Harbaugh,
he's probably right about that. So it would be Detroit with an edge there. Basically, what we're saying here is this is a really tight game is what's expected. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Depending on how much you value a head coach making a difference in a game, and I value it a lot.
Yeah.
The edge overall, if you're agreeing with us down the line, goes to Green Bay until you get to the head coach, and Dan Campbell might give Detroit almost like a push there, and then you see what happens. And don't give me home field, okay? Stop, because Minnesota won in Detroit. Teams have gone into Green Bay and won. I'm sorry. I think you fans make a big difference in a lot of different ways, but you don't think Green Bay's been in that situation before? Chicago should have won that Thanksgiving Day game last year, okay? So I love the home field. I love how loud it is. I love the passion of Lions fans, full stop. But I don't think it makes the biggest difference in a game like this. We'll see.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, Detroit's catching Green Bay at a good time and vice versa. It's going to be an interesting game all the way around. I think it's going to be a knockdown drag-out, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be a sexy game. Maybe some points scored. I think it's going to be an ugly game. We'll talk later about who we feel is going to win. But no Tucker Kraft, man. Like no Tucker Kraft. And that's,
no Sam Laporta, man.
Like, true.
Okay. I mean, talk about the wide receivers that you were discussing earlier today with me before we got behind the microphone. The wide receivers for Green Bay are non-existent.
Yeah.
So that's why you gave the edge to Detroit right away.
100%. Like Matthew Golden, they don't know if they really should have drafted him. They're trying to figure that process out now. Christian Watson does he even still play for Green Bay? I know he does, but that's how you feel about him. Every once in a while, he'll catch something. Oh man, he's still there. Romeo Doubs is the guy for them, but he's more of a 3 wide out, maybe a 2, and we don't even know if they like him there. So it's an interesting show for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. No question. All right, when we come back.
That's what Aaron Rodgers was complaining about.
Yeah, I think so, for a long time.
He was.
Yeah, he was complaining a long time. They still are in search of that.
Although he had Jordy Nelson, Devontae, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, the list goes on.
Yeah, he had some pretty good ones. They may have not been the best of their era, okay?
Jordy, in terms of a touchdown machine.
Yeah.
Well, Jordy had 16, 12 one year, 13 another year, and then like 9. Like, I don't care if you're not getting 1,500. Give me that. In fact, he had a 1,500-yard year.
Okay.
Jordy's like a sneaky
I don't think
wide
he would be
receiver.
considered one of the better receivers of his era. How's that?
No, he's not. But when you think touchdowns, you better be thinking about him with the low cut.
Yeah, well.
Jordy with the low cut.
Like Devontae Adams this year.
But he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm saying. Here's a guy who's getting a lot of touchdowns, but he's considered one of the greatest of all time. Jordy Nelson's not getting those touchdowns. No one would ever put him in the same conversation. But there is a guy who eventually one fan base thought he might be one of the greatest of all time. Injuries have derailed him. He said something the other day that has given a lot of Lions fans a little bit of a bristling effect. We'll get to that when we come back on the Braylon Edwards Show right after this.
Black Rock Bar and Grill is bringing the sizzle. In fact, we'll be up there this Friday in Ann Arbor on the 28th, hanging out with the heavyweights. Pull up on us 5 to 7. It'll be fun, food, and once again, when you come, you mention Woodward Sports. You get 20% off the food bill. That might even be better than appetizers for free because you only get one app, but this you get 20% off. You know, you do the math, the whole 9 yards. Also, they're opening up a new location. Listen up for all my people in the UP. New location opening this December, Sault Ste. Marie at Kuwaitan Casino. Get ready to double down in flavor, get big bold cuts, and experience the 750-degree sizzle that always pays out. I'm telling you, Black Rock is the bar and grill that sizzles. In fact, they sizzle above the rest.
It's a great time of year to get into a new vehicle, and there's no better place to go than Les Stanford. They've got some unbelievable deals in their massive inventory. The 2026 Hummer EV for as low as $699 a month plus tax. The brand new Silverado Crew Cab LT for as low as $159 a month plus tax. The Cadillac Optic from a year ago of 2025 for only $449 a month plus tax. It's Les Stanford Buick GMC. They've got the best deals for you, the greatest inventory for you to check out. It's lesstanford.com.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and SHEP Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Woodward Sports is partnered up with Jack's Car Wash to give you a free car wash. Text WSN to 888-522-1729. Pull up, get a free car wash. I'm telling you, nobody does it like Jack's. In fact, I think I'm going to take my car and get a car wash so it looks good tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Join the Unlimited Club and take advantage of all the perks of being a member, like the free vacuums, the free compressed air, the free mat cleanings, and all the interior cleaning locations that they have. And also, you can go pull up anytime you want to get that car wash. Go to www.jackscarwash.com and we will see you at a location near you.
A lot of perks at Lady Jane's. It's clean, it's quick, the ladies are nice, the ladies are attractive, all the things that you want to get your hair cut. This is the place to be. Walk in, sign in, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
There it is.
Hats off to Jahmyr Gibbs. He was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for the second time this year and the third time in his career. Okay, impressive stuff.
It is.
We had the discussion yesterday to try and cool people's jets about comparing him to Barry Sanders. It's ridiculous. Just so people are aware, Barry Sanders was named Offensive Player of the Week in his career 11 times. Okay?
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson was named 4 times. Jared Goff has been named 4 times. Jahmyr Gibbs has been named 3 times in his career. Not taking anything away from him. I'm just giving you an idea. Yeah. Young man has only been in the league a handful of seasons, and already he is 4th all-time in Lions players being named NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Good for him.
One of the things that we didn't talk about yesterday when we were having the conversation, and I wish I would have approached it from a different lens. Everything I said I still stand by, and I still do. But in talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, one of the things that we already got a chance to see from Barry is when Barry played with bad teams, Barry still was Barry.
Yes.
When Barry played with bad offensive lines, when the quarterback necessarily couldn't get the ball to Herman Moore or insert wide receivers tight end, when that doesn't happen, Barry was still Barry. Like, we hadn't seen that yet in Jahmyr Gibbs' early career in the Lions offensive line. Everything's been clicking the last 3 years for him. However, You're starting to see that Barry-esque type thing that he's doing this year, especially the last 4 weeks or so, because the Lions' offensive line has been, whatever you want to call it, the Lions' offensive line has not been good. The offensive play calling has not been consistent. There has been no flow. However, Jahmyr has found ways to have big performances when the offensive line hasn't played well. He's had big performances when the offensive coordinating hasn't necessarily gone well, and he's been the catalyst, not Amon-Ra St. Brown, not anybody else on this team. It's been Jahmyr Gibbs. That's the stuff that Barry Sanders was doing when he was. So kudos to Jahmyr for Offensive Player of the Week for the third time. And kudos, he's taking a different step. So when people want to have the conversation, listen, I disagree, I understand, but it's allowable now because you're starting to see some of the things that Barry dealt with when he was great. So if that's what you see, then I see it the same way. Just have some patience, though, with the comparison. But I do see that he's playing on a bad offensive line this year, and he's still finding ways to not just impact the game,
That's a good point.
to take over the game. So, yes, Jahmyr deserves all the love he's getting right now.
Yeah,
just pump the brakes.
I think it's a really good point. I would ask respectfully, is he really taking over the games? Like, he took over the last game. There's no doubt about it.
He took over that game. What I mean by taking over is being able to hit it whenever. Yes, he took over in a way the Eagles game. He just couldn't get in the end zone. And that may not be on them in terms of getting so close and them not getting a little bit stagnant trying to figure that out.
From a receiving standpoint.
But from a receiving point, he had 100 yards receiving. He was the catalyst. He was in spaces. He put them closer than they had been, to necessarily be in the red zone, score touchdowns. So taking over, it's looking a little different. Even in that Bucs game, like it wasn't consistent all game, but those 3 moments, they can happen at any time.
Yeah, 3 games really good in a row. 4 out of the last 5. You need some help. Not good at all against Minnesota. Okay, not good at all against Kansas City. Okay against Cincinnati. Cleveland, very good against a very good defense, I would say. Baltimore, combined. Again, if we're talking about rushing, he's a better receiving back than Barry. There's no question about that. We were talking, yesterday about running the football. That's all. So I think it's a little harder to make that case when you've got 3 games of 100 yards or more so far this season to say that perhaps he's carrying this team.
You know what it is it's like the new conversation. We just talked about this on Monday. It's like the basketball, the positionless basketball conversation. Are we talking about John Stockton versus, let's say Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd versus Steph Curry. Like, who's a better point guard? Who's a better running back? Statistically, Steph Curry's statistics are going to kill Jason Kidd. But when you look at the totality, he's doing this and he's doing that and he's doing this and not necessarily that.
Well, they have better. Yeah, you're right. They have different strengths. Jason Kidd was an incredible passer. You can use John Stockton too because he was an incredible passer. But Steph Curry is a different type of point guard because he's the greatest shooter of all time. So all really good stuff. People in Cincinnati thought Joe Burrow might be the greatest quarterback they've ever had. That's debatable, whether it's Ken Anderson, Boomer Esiason, Carson Palmer, or Joe Burrow. They can have that debate. We do know this. Joe Burrow grew up watching, just like you did, the Lions on Thanksgiving. This is what he had to say about the Lions on Thanksgiving just the other day to the media.
What's so meaningful about that day specifically? Like, why have you always liked wanting to play on this day?
I think just like a lot of kids, you grow up going through Thanksgiving, you have your meals with your family, and then you go and sit on the couch, and typically there's not a lot on, except football. Back in the day, it was Lions and somebody. You go watch Matthew Stafford throw for 300, 400 some yards with Calvin Johnson and probably lose the game, but it was fun to watch.
So we had this in our Woodward sports chat yesterday, and there's some people who were very offended. Some people were pretty pissed off about it. I thought it was funny because it's pretty true. Okay, he did say at the end, but it was fun. What's the big deal about what Joe Burrow just said there? Do you
because
think?
People here in Detroit are so freaking sensitive. For us to be talking about we're the team, we're the city of grit, and you better not come here and it's Detroit versus everybody, and we're rough and we're tough. It's a bunch of Pisces floating here, and I say Pisces because I'm a Pisces. I'm a little bit emotional from time to time, but everybody's emotional. So what? What he said was true. How many times have you watched Detroit Lions game on Thanksgiving, and it's the most exciting game that you'll watch? In fact, this is perfect. My stepfather, Charles Player, used to have this amazing saying, and doesn't say anymore because the Lions actually became the good team and they closed the deal. But this was him to a T. Shep, you're going to love this. The Detroit Lions, another exciting loss. That's who the Detroit Lions have been. Like, I was at the only time I've ever seen them win on Thanksgiving, I was at the game, and that's because they cheated Jerome Bettis on the coin toss. Like, this is exactly who the Lions were. Why are you so mad now? Like, you're talking about a team that you haven't beat on Thanksgiving since 90. Like, why are you so mad? I know why you're mad. It's because Joe Burrow is so laid back. Like, the way that it came off, it was like, you're just watching and you just, and Calvin Johnson, and they lose. So, like, because it wasn't energy and because he didn't do it in a funny way, it's like, oh, he meant that. He said, stop, who cares? Yeah. Especially when someone's telling the truth. Like, that's what the Lions had been. So many people are now consumed with what the Lions are and what they are not anymore, that when you bring up what they used to be, all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're taking shots at Detroit. He's not taking shots. He's telling you the truth. Because if somebody that was wearing a Detroit Lions jersey would have said that, like if Amon-Ra St. Brown was like, what are your fondest memories of Thanksgiving? It's like, I remember watching the Lions and, Calvin Johnson going for 300, but still losing in the end. What would you say then? Yeah. You'd be like, oh, he's telling the truth. Get over it. Jesus.
You'd be laughing about
You're no longer that Detroit Lions.
You would be.
Or are you?
He's kind of right to a certain extent. Matthew Stafford, no one hit, obviously because it's the Lions. Lions and Cowboys play regularly. Matthew Stafford has thrown for more yards than any other quarterback on Thanksgiving Day than anybody.
How many wins?
Yeah, that's the big key, right? Tony Romo's 2, Troy Aikman is 3. No one has thrown more touchdowns on Thanksgiving Day than Matthew Stafford. He and Tony Romo are tied. Bobby Lane is 3rd. Danny White, the former Cowboy, is 4th. And for receiving, only Jason Witten and Herman Moore have more receiving yards on Thanksgiving than Calvin Johnson, who has the most Thanksgiving touchdowns all time from a receiving standpoint. So, is he wrong? He's really not wrong.
He's not.
Because we know that as much as we love it, and we do, we love this tradition, we deserve to have it, all right? However, Detroit has not had great success on this holiday. They're well under 500. And last year's win over Chicago
was an absolute luck. If you had a coach that wasn't such an idiot, like that was I felt so bad for that whole team just watching Eberflus.
And what I was going to say is
Floozy.
That snapped a 7-game losing streak on the holiday.
It did.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at truth. That's legitimately like somebody having a conversation like, man, Penn State is fun to watch in primetime games, but you know they're going to lose at the end. Right. Like, is that wrong? Like, when's James Franklin won the big game on primetime? Yeah. Well, I mean, he's no longer there now, but like it's a universal truth. If you're in Arizona and it's the game of the night, ESPN on Saturday, and it's Penn State versus, Penn State is going to give you it's going to be interesting. You'll have Saquon Barkley do something crazy. You'll have a linebacker that's going first round, get 2 sacks, make it interesting, and at the end of the game, they're going to trick it. That's not telling you a lie. So you shouldn't take it as so sensitive.
And by the way, Stafford is 4-6 all time on Thanksgiving.
It's not
with
terrible.
The Lions. So, not terrible, but that's the way it is. All right, stay with us. When we come back, we're going to get to the mailbag a little bit later on. Well, I want to bring up, because Michigan and Ohio State are getting ready to clash. There's very little Thanksgiving break for them. You know what that's like. But you've got some fresh stuff going up against Ohio State and some pretty impressive numbers from one guy who wore number 80 and number 1 in the same career. That's after this on the Braylon Edwards Show. Stay with us.
And now a message from Massage Chair.
Just grabbing the paper.
Thank you.
A message from Massage Chair House. You looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, with the top brands for massage chairs like Ofinity and Osaki, located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
And you're going to need some recovery and relaxation after you head out to Wicked Pickle in Westland, Michigan. They do open play, private events, and leagues and tournaments, including the Woodward Sports Open at Wicked Pickle, January 9th through 13th. You can scan that QR code and you can find out all the information, including how you can play against all your favorite Woodward sports personalities, tournament style, and you can knock them out. But they got a comfortable lounge area, spacious event room, alcohol, and demos and pro shops. So make sure you check them out. They are the top of the line in the pickleball industry.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not. Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and SHEP Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Okay, back with you on the Braylon Edwards Show Monday through Friday from 2 until 4. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Let's get to a couple Super Chats. We'll do the Super Chats, and then we got some special stuff here for as we get ready for the Michigan-Ohio State game. I also wanted to give you some Micah Parsons numbers on Thanksgiving, speaking of Matthew Stafford's numbers on Thanksgiving. So, Justin, let's get through some Super Chats. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Let me get to these Super Chats. We got 2 Super Chats in there. I ain't say that $5 Super Chat. I am thankful for the new Woodward Pistons and Wings coverage, really getting my sport roots on the west side of Michigan. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for tapping
Beautiful.
in.
Thanks.
I know
Awesome.
that me, Spenny, Kool-Aid, and the gang all appreciate you. And then the second one, $5 Super Chat from Rando Smalls. Wish you all a safe and happy Turkey Day. Go Lions.
You too, Randall. Thank you, buddy.
Randall, appreciate you.
You're
Man. Always
the
been a
best.
big staple man here at the
Thank
network.
you.
But I feel like he started here on the Braylon Edwards and SHEP Show.
Well,
man.
that's where he's excelling to this
You know what
day.
I'm saying?
You know, and by the way, part of that Pistons coverage, Brendan, nice job with Kool-Aid the other day.
Thank you.
Kool-Aid's with his family in Alabama. We wish him and his family the best of Thanksgiving. So, of course, the key nugget in our sports town is Lions and Packers, but we're not far away from Michigan and Ohio State on Saturday at the Big House. Braylon will be there. I will be there. Braylon's got a big deal taking place coming up here with this going. It is. It's a big deal, man. You got the watch party happening.
It's a tailgate. Yeah, it's a tailgate post game. Pull up on us. It's the Ann Arbor Pioneer. It's the Woodward Sports tailgate. We've been doing this now 3-4 years. It's fun. Come out. They cook food, the whole 9 yards. There's There's adult beverages in the morning if that's your cup of tea. There's chili. There's breakfast sandwiches. And as it gets closer to kickoff, the menu and everything changes. And also, we will have the desk up there. We will have a DJ. So there will be some interviews. And it may be a little, back and forth with me and Rob Sims, Ohio State national champion in 2014. So show love to the big fella because he's earned it. So actually, there's only one big fella. That's Lomas Brown. So show love to my guy. But it'll be fun. So if you're around,
I love this part of it. A shit ton of delicious steak provided by Black Rock Bar and Grill.
I do.
That's all you really need to know.
I did not realize that it said a bleeding ton.
So I know a little bit more about that too. 130 pounds of Black Rock steaks coming in, and then a pregame watch party and postgame show hosted by myself, KG, and Nicholas Koloff, Crash Out Koloff. So it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully I would love to be graced with the presence of Braylon and Rob Sims on the mic. That'd be absolutely electric.
That would be fire.
It's gonna be fun.
In the words of
you see the still shot though, right?
Yeah, I like.
You see, it's the 100th game.
I like where the finger is on the point of the football too.
I told you,
there's something special about that. I'm always looking for that.
Right,
I like the. I also like the elbow garment there. The gloves surprised me a little bit because you got good enough hands to be without gloves, but maybe it's a cold day.
I didn't wear. Why you always bring the old man element to it? Now I can't work. Now I got to be Tim Brown. Now I got to tape up every single finger like.
Come on,
Tim
Fred
Brown.
Bolitnikoff. How were your?
He had all that stickum. So,
he did. He and Lester Hayes. It was unbelievable.
100%.
How were your numbers against Ohio State? How much did you enjoy playing against them, and how successful were you against the Buckeyes in that key rivalry?
Well, ironically enough, we have a video that is this same play. You got that video, Jay?
Sure.
Go ahead and throw that video.
Congratulations, Lomas Brown, man. I don't care what team he was on or how long where he started. He deserves to be. Hell of a dude, hell of a player. That durability, production.
That's Yak. Yards after the catch right there.
He's a great teammate, man. One of those you never forget. There you go, brother.
That's yours. That's a 50-50 ball right there.
He's a great teammate. He was the guy that he just wanted to help you. Whatever help.
3 games.
I'll never forget. I brought this up. We're playing Washington. Bruce Smith. We got like a play pass. He's right on my head.
29.
Here we go. Okay, Mom. He just
yards. I'm gonna guess. Let's see. 3 games, at least 100 in each. I'll say 336.
412.
Oh, sorry about that.
And then touchdowns.
5.
Ironically enough, it would have been 5. I had 2 taken away. 3. The one that's taken away in that game was 87 yards.
I was pretty close in 2 of the 3.
You nailed it on that.
Okay.
87-yarder got taken away in the third quarter. The 100th game because left tackle held Will Smith, first-round draft pick to the Saints. Rest in peace. He was a monster. And then Chris Gamble said, I'll never forget it. Sophomore year, we're in Columbus. Legitimately, Chris Gamble's holding my face mask for 20 yards. And I'm just waiting and waiting because I know when I go up is when I'm going to do what I have to do. So I let him do it, let him get comfortable. And right when I got in the end zone to go for the ball, I smack push, caught the touchdown. Ref was fine with it.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, Mike Doss, another All-American, he was a damn good safety in college, played for the Colts. He came out of nowhere. Ref, you going to let that happen in Columbus here? Next thing you know, the most delayed flag I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
He yelled at the ref.
What'd you say to Doss? Anything?
I know I wasn't a big talker, especially younger. I still was figuring things out. I'm like, if the ref's gonna call it, what am I talking about? It is what it is. I got older and I realized I had some say in that matter.
Yeah.
Because
Doss must have been a little bit older because he had a say in that matter.
Well, he was up since last year.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So
he had that stroke, seniority.
He felt like he had that seniority.
And he was at home. And he was at home. He's in the end zone. They're trying to get to the national championship. They were undefeated that year. That was a year where they almost lost 6 or 7 times.
Oh,
the key word is almost.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
breaking news.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
News.
Get to it.
Oh, my God. Breaking news.
Go.
Frank Ragnow has just come out of retirement and is coming back to the Lions.
Wow. I was just waving you guys.
Are you kidding me?
Where'd this come from?
It's all over Twitter.
The Lions
right now.
himself.
Yeah.
So we knew the Lions' offensive line was bad. So we were correct.
When's he playing?
Hey, not this week.
Braylon, not this week.
Not this week.
Holy cow, that is massive.
Like
that.
wow.
That is a big deal, man. Now, I don't want to be too much of a jerk here, but I wish they'd have done this way earlier. That is incredible.
I'm not even gonna
We're so back.
I'm not even
Come on. We're so back.
Ooh,
Oh, we're so off.
All right.
Okay,
real
so
quick,
what
this
is-
is
so what
really
does
good.
that do?
This is really good. This is where I want your opinion. How long will it take him to assimilate? Most of you guys stay. I mean, you're in great shape now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you could play. I'm
Right.
just saying you're in great shape. So he's probably still in really good shape. What in the world would it take for him to get out there against Dallas?
I don't want to disrespect his position, but like I think Frank's ready now.
Okay, then put the damn number on his back and
think-
play him tomorrow.
Well, no, not that.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Okay.
saying like Frank, but I did say now. You're right. I think Frank. I think he would be ready tomorrow, realistically, because if Frank's making
the most insane.
if Frank's making his decision, the decision in which he chose to retire, he knew what it was, but also he chose to come back. That means he knew he had enough to come back. This is the reason why I said I think he'll be ready right away. Talking about the Dallas Cowboys game, Shep, is because he's been resting.
Right.
He's a center. He's not necessarily moving too far. He won't have to move too far off that square. He's been resting. He's rested the toe. He's rested the foot. He's rested the body. I'm telling you, I think he could play right away against the Cowboys, and I think his impact will be felt. And now you get him at the center position. That means that's tough. Now you move Graham. Now you move Graham Glasgow back to left guard, and you keep everything else
Ratledge at
operating.
right guard. Suddenly,
and Taylor
things
Decker
are
hasn't been bad this season. Yeah, he hasn't been great. He hasn't been terrible for his age. So, yeah.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
You know what?
But-
Look, I mean, I am beaming. First of all, I thought when Justin and Brendan said this, I thought, okay, take it easy, guys.
Yeah.
What burner account are you watching?
Same.
But now
The
that
New York porch.
when we've got national writers suggesting this, Thanksgiving Day meal tastes a lot sweeter now.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
for sure.
go back to that. What the Lions are thankful for, Frank Ragnow.
Thank you. My
Frank
favorite
Ragnow.
player over the last 8 years. I know it's sexy to take a quarterback and wide receiver and a running back. He's been my favorite player, and I've said this.
Yeah.
It's been replaced by Jack Campbell and Brian Branch when he's playing smart. But this is glorious news. This is fantastic news. Everybody should be fired up. Double thumbs up. That chat should be going nuts right now.
Oh yeah.
It is, and what this tells you is the Lions believe that their problems on offense were not problems with the offensive coordinator. It wasn't problems with necessarily the players in that. It was problems with the offensive line.
Yeah.
All issues come from the offensive line. You can't protect long. You can't hold long. You can't get Jamison Wilson open. You can't run through the right side of the guard. You can't run in between the tackles with D. Montgomery as
You
well.
can't
as
keep
Jahmyr.
guys
You
away
can't do
from
that.
it.
Offensive line. You
Right.
can't keep guys away from the
Yeah.
quarterback guy. What it is in the last 3 weeks, you know what you've seen on the defensive side? You've seen them come straight up the middle. How
Yes.
many times?
Minnesota you said
started
that
it.
right away.
You've seen guys come straight up the middle, straight up the A gap. Like, that's unsustainable. I don't care what you're doing on defense.
Come on.
That's unsustainable.
This is so awesome. I am so happy for them right now.
You asked that question a couple weeks ago, and I was like, nah, he would never come back because to retire took everything out of him. And I know he and his wife and I think it's one of those situations. He's like, babe, I got to do this. You want to be mad at me? You can be mad at me. But
Taylor Decker was pretty happy, man. That's his best buddy. So
yeah.
it's going to solidify some things, and I think you're dead on. You said after the Minnesota game, here's my concern. I remember it was Monday. You go, listen, my concern is pressure up the middle.
Yeah.
It's been pretty consistent. Take me into the mindset of Coyote Awosika, who's the left guard and has struggled. Take me into the mindset of Graham Glasgow, too, and maybe to a certain extent Tate Ratledge, because there's a symmetry that has to work between the right guard and the center.
So now you'll get Taylor. Now you'll get the perfect symmetry. You'll get your left tackle, who's going to come down to the left guard, which is now Graham Glasgow, which is where he feels most comfortable. Anyway, now you have, Frank. I forgot his name for a second. Now you have Frank Ragnow in the middle. But what this does. See, Graham Glasgow has to help Wasika. He has to help Tate Ratledge. They're younger guys trying to figure it out. How can you help somebody to the left and right, and you're still trying to figure your bleep out?
Yeah, right.
And that's been the biggest problem. And
Yeah.
you see Tate Ratledge have issues, and sometimes it's just for the center to say, hey, look, I got you on this play. Hey, look, I'll give you a little chip on this play, a little bit nod, a little bit something. There's not that because Graham Glasgow is trying to figure himself out. It's like Dan Campbell trying to be the head coach and offensive coordinator.
Man.
Like in the beginning, you see a little bit of Now he's focusing on offensive coordinator. Now he's not paying attention to other sides of the team. So this helps that offensive line out tremendously because now the big fella on the right side, now he can just go back to being a mauler and not necessarily have to worry about what's Graham doing at center. Let me help take Rallies on this play. Let me remind Awosika on this play, you got to pull like this. Now they can just go play ball.
Dude, I'm giddy right now.
I'm so
I am giddy.
Oh.
If I had a beer in front of me right now,
My
I would just
God,
freaking
bro.
slam it.
Talk about it, Jay.
Come on. Oh my
so
God,
cool.
we are so back. We are so back.
hold
The
on.
nothing. Oh my God.
Shep, let him have it. Shep, let him have it.
No. You
Let him
give
have
me
it.
my moment.
Let him have
the,
it.
the offensive
Frank
line
Ragnow came out of
is now
retirement. Let him have it.
complete. You are talking about no liabilities on this offensive line in 2 weeks, and now you were talking about keeping Goff clean. We just saw the Eagles absolutely assassinate the Lions in the middle, and now you have a savior coming that will now. Oh my God, keep Jared Goff clean. Oh, let's go. Praise freaking
this is
the Lord. Oh yes.
Among centers since 2018, Frank Ragnow has the third best
fucking
Pro
cry right
Football
now.
Focus grade, and he's got the third best run blocking grade too since 2018 among centers.
You know why I love letting Justin continue to go. Let Justin get it all out there. One, you deserve it. It's perfectly fine. But I want Detroit Lions fans, having this move, now they'll be honest about how they really felt. Because all these people, now that Frank's coming back, oh, yes, I'm not imitating you, Justin. I'm imitating every Lions fan around the world right now. Yes, we're back. We're back. What that tells me is you thought you were gone.
Yes.
What that means is you thought that it was over.
Oh, I've always vocalized my concerns about the offensive line.
You've been very honest, but I'm just more
their
like
big concern was that we weren't good enough. And something has to change.
And you put this in here. You were talking about Dan Orlovsky, talking about the offensive line, talking about he likes the offensive line from the Bears, but doesn't like the offensive line.
Likes Dallas, Rams, Niners, and Bears, and that the Lions are one of the worst pass-protecting offensive lines in football.
And when he said this, everybody got upset. Even though we knew he was telling the truth, people got mad. But now you see that these analysts weren't far off as it relates to the Lions. They were not going to be able to win the Super Bowl with the offensive line constructed the way it was.
Thanksgiving, like I said, I mean, it just got the taste of all that is going to be so much better. Now, here's the bigger question, and Justin can answer this too. If you lose to Green Bay, do you absorb that much differently, easier, and with more optimism than you would have prior to?
Yes.
Because remember, if they lose, suddenly they're 7-5. They're already on the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. They would have lost 2 games to the Packers, so you don't win a tiebreaker there. I wonder how people would feel about that.
I'm now sorry, Braylon.
No, go ahead.
I'm now looking at that like just get in the dance. I don't care where we're at. Let us scrap anyone. I don't care who's on the other side. That offensive line is ready to bully people again, and that's what I can't wait to see. Because we were talking about it. You were talking about it when we were talking about comparing the Packers and the Lions' offensive lines. Yeah, the Lions have the star power, but they don't have the sustainability in the middle. Now they do.
This changes everything.
It does.
One guy, we said this yesterday on the show, one guy can change everything, whether it would have been Zeitler or Frank Ragnow. One guy changes everything. Suddenly the left guard is better and more comfortable. The center is much better, and he's probably going to help the right guard stay a little bit more consistent and better too.
2 things. One, I want to know what the ticket is and what the promise is, because it's definitely something under the table that comes with that contract. One, and it is deservingly so, and they definitely got the money to pay for it. Thing 2, you're absolutely right. As it relates to this game, I don't care about this game because you won the Giants game. No matter how you did it, you won the Giants game. So now, like you said, you're not walking in 2 losses in a row. So where now you got to win out. At this point, there's 6 games left. You got 7 wins. If you lose twice, you still have 11 wins. And you ain't going to lose. It was the Rams game potentially. So, but I'm not worried about that. If you lose this game, I'm not.
You're worried about the Dallas game. I mean, we'll get into that next week. You'll get into that. Yeah, a little worried about that because
I am.
Frank Ragnow. Hey, I love this as much as anybody. Okay, I'm not as emotional as Justin, but I love this as much as anybody. That doesn't fix what your defense looked like against the Giants. True. It's not going to fix the defense stopping the Dallas Cowboys next week. The defense still has to step forward too.
That's 1,000% true. But with Frank Ragnow in the middle, I'm not necessarily as worried about Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams, and I understand in the back end, Dallas Cowboys have been trash on the back end. So there's a lot of room for yards to be gained down the field, and with Frank Ragnow in the middle, makes it a lot better, and now they can protect. So I'm not tripping as much. But that defense, they still got to see Dallas's offense.
Dude, this is so much fun.
Let's worry about that later. Let's right now.
Let's live in the
Frank
moment.
Ragnow, baby.
This is exactly what this team needed. Besides, a defensive end, I don't want to get too greedy. We said this earlier in the week. This team's got a lot of money left over. Why didn't they trade for Kevin Zeitler at the trade deadline? This team's got money left over. Why not talk Frank Ragnow out of retirement? Said this over 3 weeks ago. I know it's a little later than I wanted, but I'm glad they've done it.
Here's the question. The two main questions are, what was the ticket? I mean, people don't care, but for me, I'm just inside. One, the ticket, but one, when was this conversation had?
Yes.
Was this a conversation had back in August where, like, hey, look, if it looks bad, you guys can call me up and we'll see where. Was it a conversation where I was always coming back at this time? You just give me some time to take off, heal, spend some time with the family.
Was it
take
a conversation
care of home?
after they saw Minnesota and Brad Holmes went, holy crap,
Yeah.
I got stuff I got to think about here. Frank, I need you, baby.
I venture to say it was the Vikings game, and I think the double down happened in Philly. I think the Vikings game was the first reach out.
Yeah.
And I think the second reach out would have been Sheila.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Dan that called after the Eagles game. I think it was Sheila.
Hell.
We got what you need. We need you, Frank. You told us to call you.
I would have gone visited him, bought him dinner, got down on a knee, and acted like I was proposing to him.
I bought him a steakhouse.
I don't care what they did.
Like that.
All I care is that they got him back.
Yep.
And one of the best centers in football is back with the Lions. I don't care how much he plays, as long as it's soon, because I know he's going to make a difference.
Who said we need to make a move at trade deadline?
Before we ride off, we got two more super chats.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Rando Smalls with both of them, $5 each. No wonder Brad has been so coy. Bet he knew this whole time. And then time to pound the rock with Monty and Gibbs.
I like that. I love that. I love pound the rock. If he knew it all along, I'll go back to why didn't it happen earlier. But I'm not going to get greedy, okay? I'll get greedy tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. We're fired up. And with that, I want to remind everybody, and I think, Justin, you're part of this, Gillies, 1 o'clock tomorrow.
I will be there.
Live watch party, post-game show as well. Great vibes, cold drinks, hot takes, and passion from Justin and everybody else who's part of it. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're back Friday here on the Braylon Edwards Show to break down everything that is Lions. Happy Thanksgiving.
Make sure you thank the big man above.
Amen.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And SHEP.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with SHEP, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.